Good afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome back for what I hope was a good lunch and a good break. Again, I'm Joyce Donaldson. I'm the Director of Arts Education here at the Mondavi Center. It's my pleasure to welcome you all back. I also had a treat in seeing some of our dress rehearsal this morning. I know we're all in for a wonderful afternoon and a culmination of the experience of our Globe Academy for Teachers. So congratulations, first of all, to all the teachers for all the hard work that you've done. There's a heartfelt thank you from Mondavi Center and from UC Davis, our School of Education, who is our partners, and also the Los Rios Community College District, all partners in the Globe Academy for Teachers. So congratulations to all 12 of you for a remarkable job. Before we get started, there's a few folks I'd like to introduce you to. As I said, we have a School of Education at UC Davis, which is our partner. This is the first year that they've come on board, and I'd like to introduce to you Dean Harold Levine. And donors who are here, so we are more than happy to have your partnership here. Actually, have a face to it. That's great. Thank you to all the drivers, moms and dads, bus drivers, etc., who are here, who have helped to make this possible to bring your children here. I'd also like to introduce to you Rosalie Vanderhoof, who has been my cohort in this entire project from its inception. Please stand with me. Rosalie's husband, in case the name Vanderhoff doesn't ring a bell with you, is our Chancellor Emeritus now, Chancellor Larry Vanderhoff, who helped to really spearhead this project and who has certainly helped to make it continue to grow into, we'll be going into its 5th year. Today we're celebrating the 4th year. So I'm going to start, as I normally do with productions, and remind you a little housekeeping. In the unfortunate case of a fire or other emergency, we ask that you leave via the entrances that you came into. Also, there is no photography, flash, or otherwise allowed during the performance. This is for your safety. And also, to remind you, and the teachers as well, that we are taping this entire performance, and that your teachers will all have a CD of it, or DVD, of the performance that you're welcome to copy as many times as you like. But it's all just so that you can, if you'd like to review that at home, or you would like to share it with your parents or superintendents or whomever. By the way, while I'm thinking of it, are there any superintendents or principals that are here today? I know we have one from Antelope. Vanden High School, sure. And also Chris Stafford, of course, who we recognized before the students, but for those who more of our guests are here, let me introduce to you Chris Stafford, who's our Globe practitioner. We have a wonderful afternoon ahead of us. We're exactly on time, so let the show begin.
shall we three meet again?
In thunder?
Boom!
Lightning?
Or rain?
When the hurly-burly's done?
When the battle's lost and won?
That will be the air, the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with
Macbeth.
Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air. Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
What bloody man is that? This is the sergeant, who like a good and hearty soldier fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend.
Doubtful it stood, the merciless MacDonald. For brave Macbeth, well, he deserves that name. Disdaining fortune, with his brand of steel, which smokes with bloody execution, like valor's Midian Cartow's passage, till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook his hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he had seen him from the nave to the chaps, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
O valiant cousin, worthy gentlemen, dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, but I am faint. My gashes, they cry for help.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Go get him surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
What a haste look through his eyes. So should he look that seems to speak things strange?
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, with terrible numbers, assisted by a disloyal traitor, the Thane of God, Caldor, began a dismal conflict, but victory fell on us.
Great happiness.
Nor his king Cave's composition, nor he dying him burial of his men, till he disbursed at St. Tom's Inch $10,000 to our general use.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go and pronounce his present death, and with his former title greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been, sister? Killing swine.
Sister, where thou?
I see this wife had chestnuts in her lap.
And munched, and munched, and munched.
Give me, quoth I, a righty witch, the rump that Ryan cries. I'll do.
I'll do. And I'll do.
I'll give thee a wind. Thou art kind.
And I another.
Look what I have.
Show me, show me.
Here I have a pilot's thumb, wrecked as homeward he did come.
A drum, Macbeth doth come. The weird sisters, hand in hand, posted up the sea and land. Thus to know about, thrice to thine, and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up nine. Peace! The charms bound up.
So foul and fair day I have not seen. How far is called the forest?
What are these, so withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are armed? Live you?
Speak, if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start, and seem to fear things that do sound so fair?
Hail! Hail! Hail!
Lesser than Macbeth.
And greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none.
So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail! Stay, you imperfect speakers. Tell me more. Speak, I charge you.
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed?
Were such things as here we do speak about, or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so?
To the self-same tune in words, who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success.
We come to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not to pay thee.
And for an earnest of a great honor, he bade me from him call to thee, Thane of Cawdor, for it is thine.
What? Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you jest me in borrowed robes?
He who lives yet, but under heavy judgment, bears that life which he deserves to lose. Treason's capital confessed, and have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor, the greatest is behind us. Thanks for your pains.
Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those who gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you into the crown. Besides, the Thane of Cawdor but is strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm. The instruments of darkness tell us truth. Win us with honest trifles to be traced, in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. Cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath he given me the earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of mind that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why, chance may crown me without my stir.
New horrors come upon him. Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought. With things forgot, let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friend.
Is execution done in Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they're not yet come back, but I've spoke with one who saw him die, who did say he frankly confessed his treasons, begged your highness's pardon, and set forth in a deep repentance.
He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now is heavy on me. The swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake me. More as I do than more than all can pay.
The service and loyalty I owe, in doing it, pays itself. Your highness pardons to receive our duties, and our duties are to your state and throne, children and servants.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, thou hast no less deserved, nor must be known, no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
And there, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you who are the nearest know we shall establish our estate upon. Our eldest Malcolm, whom we name hereafter to be the Prince of Cumberland, whose honor must not unaccompanied invest him only, but signs of nobleness, like stars, shall shine on all deservers, from hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
I will myself be the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down, or else or leap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not your light see my black and deep desires. The eye winketh the hand, yet let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see.
Let's follow thee, whose care has gone before to bid us welcome.
This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dews of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Light to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art in Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature, Thou wilt be great. Are not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise, with the valor of my tongue, all that impedes thee from the golden round. What is your tidings?
The king, he comes here tonight.
Thou mightest say it. Is not thy master with him? Who would have informed for preparation.
How so pleased you? It is true. Our thing is coming. One of my fellows has the speed of him, who almost dead for breath. Dead for breath! That scares me more than to make up his message.
Give him tending, he brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks on the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between. Come, thick night, that pile thee in the dunnest silk of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blank of the dark to cry, hold, hold. Great Glums, worthy Cawdor, greater than both, by the all-hail hereafter, thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And one goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never. Shall sun that morrow see, but I welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue, look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for.
We will speak further.
Only look I clear, so all to favor versus to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
Castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses. See, our honored hostess, the love that follows us sometimes is our trouble, which still we dank, is love herein. I teach you how you shall bid God ill us for your pains, and dank us for your trouble.
All our service twice done, and then done double.
Fair noble hostess, we are your guests tonight. Give me your hand, and conduct me to mine host, as we love him highly, and shall continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done, when done, 'twere were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up consequence and catch with his surceased success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here upon this bank and shoal of time will jump the life to come.
But in these cases, we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which, being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commands the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips.
He's here in double trust. First, as I'm his kinsman and his subject, strong bolt against the deed. Then, as his host, who should against the murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself.
I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which overleaps itself and falls on the other. How now? What news?
He is almost sucked. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not. He has.
We'll proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I've bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which will be worn now, in the newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk, wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now, to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? Art thou feared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire?
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man who dares do more is none.
When you durst do it, then you are a man. And more than what you were, you'd be so much more the man.
I have given suck and know how tender the love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed its brains out, had I sworn as you have done to this.
If we fail,
we fail. But screw your curse to sticking place, and we will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, where two your days rather harder journeys end, soundly invite him his 2 chamberlains, while I with wine and with sail. When in swinish sleep, their drenched natures lies in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon this unguarded Duncan? His spongy officer shall bear the guilt of our great quell.
bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted male should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy 2 of his own chamber, and use their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dare deceive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled and bent up.
Each corporal agent to this terrible feat.
Away, and mark the time that fair show.
False face let's hide with the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy? The moon is down. I have not heard the clock. Quick, give me my sword! Who's there?
What, sir, not yet at rest? The king's abed. All's well. I dreamt last night of the 3 weird sisters. To you they have shown some truth.
I think none of them.
Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve,
we would spit it in some words upon that business.
If you would grant the time.
At your kind's leisure.
Go! Bid thy mistress. When my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed!
Is this the dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come! Let me clutch thee! I have thee not, and yet I see thee still.
Art thou not
Fatal vision?
sensible to feeling as to sight?
Or art thou but a dagger of the mind? A false creation, proceeding from the heat oppressed brain.
I see thee yet.
In form as palpable as this which now I draw.
I go.
And it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is the knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace! It was the owl that shrieked. The fatal bellman which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. Who's there? What ho? Alack! I'm afraid it is not done, and they have a wait. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. I had laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband,
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended?
I. Ah! Hark! Who lies at the second chamber? It's Donalbain.
This is a sorry sight. A foolish thought to say a sorry sight. There's one did laugh and sleep, and one cried that they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and addressed them against asleep. There are two lodged together. One cried, God bless us, and Amen. The other, as they see me with these hangman's hands, I could not say Amen. When they did say, God bless us. Consider it not so deeply. But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had much need of blessings and amen. Stuck in my throat. These deeds must not be thought of after these ways, so it will make us mad. Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more, Macbeth does not sleep. The innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care. What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy vain, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things? Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hands. Why did you bring the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the filthy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to look on what I've done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infernal purpose! Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for they must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me? When every noise appalls me? What hands are here? How did they pluck out mine eyes? Will all great Neptune's oceans wash this blood clean from my hands? No. This, my hand would rather the multitudinous seas in ink cardinine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shamed wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. Little water clears us of the deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark! We're knocking! Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us we watchers. You're not lost so clearly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself.
Why, stop me with thy knocking!
I would thou couldst.
Indeed. If man reporter of Hellgate, he should have all turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? In the name of Beelzebub.
Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time, have napkins enow about you. Here you'll sweat for it.
Knock, knock, knock.
Who's there in the other devil's name?
Faith. Here's an equivocator who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet who cannot equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator.
Knock, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Faith, here's the English tailor come hither for stealing out the French hose. Come in, tailor, here you may roast your goose.
Knock, 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 never a quiet. What are you?
But this place is too cold for hell. I'll devil porter it no further. I had thought to let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire.
Anon, anon, I pray you, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friends, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing to the second cock, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things. Oh.
What 3 things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir. Nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, provokes and unprovokes. Provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him, and it mars him. It sets him on, and it takes him off. Persuades him, and disheartens him. Makes him stand to, and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him in sleep, and, giving him the lie, leads him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir. In the very throat on me.
Is thy master stirring? Ah, knocking has awaked him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy thing?
No, not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night was unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down. And, as they say, lamentings heard in the air. Strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events. New hatch to the woeful time. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror! Horror, horror! Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke up the Lord's anointed temple, and stole thence the life of the building.
What is it you say, the life?
Meaning his majesty.
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with an ugurum. Do not bid me speak. See? Then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Malcolm, Gentlemen, Banquo, awake! Shake off this downy sleep! Just contemplate and look on death itself! The great Duke's image! Awake! Ring the bell!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak! Speak!
O gentle lady, what I have to say is not for you to hear, for the repetition on a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Banquo! Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
Well, alas, what, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Death, I pray thee contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this instant, there's nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees is left of all to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are. You do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father is murdered.
Oh? By whom?
Those of his chamber, it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were embadged with blood. So were their daggers, which, unwiped, we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life is to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, tempered and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outrun the pauser, reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs look like a breach in nature for ruin's faithful entrance. There, the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain? That had a heart to love, and with that heart courage make love's known.
Help me, hence ho!
Look to the lady!
Why do we hold our tongues? That most may claim this argument for ours.
What should be spoken here? Were our fate, hid in auger hole, may rush and seize us. Let's away, our tears not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady, and when we have our naked frailties hid that suffer exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work. To know it further, fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so I.
So all. Let us put on our manly readiness and mean the hall together.
Well contented.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. Out to England.
To Ireland I. Our separated fortune will keep us both the safer. Here there are daggers in men's smiles, the near in blood, the near bloody.
This murderous shaft is shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid aim. Therefore to horse. And let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft, which steals itself when there's no mercy left.
70 I can remember well, volume of which time I have seen, hours dreadful and things strange, but this sore night hath trifle former knowings.
Ah, good father, thou seest the heavens as troubled with man's act, threaten his bloody stage by the clock 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the traveling land.
'Tis unnatural, even like the deed that's done.
Here comes the good Macduff. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is it known who this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas the day, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Dunalbane, the king's 2 sons, have fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Gainst nature still, thriftless ambition that wilt raven up thy own life's means, and 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where's Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin, I'll to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well there. Adieu, lest our new robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, father.
God's venison go with you, and with those that will make good of bad and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Blonde, all. As the women promised, and I fear thou played most foully. For yet it was said I should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father
of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the verities on thee made good. May they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope, but hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had
been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to which my duties are with the most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We should have else desired your good advice. Is it far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time. Twixt this and supper, I must become a bar of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland. When they are thought we shall upon the state, craving a strong. Hie you 2 horse, adieu to your return at night. Goes Leon's with you?
Aye, my good lord, our time does call upon.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time, till 7 at night, to make sight of the sweeter welcome. We will keep ourselves till supper time alone. Well then,
God be with you.
To be thus is nothing but to be safely thus. Our fears in bank will stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns which will be feared. This much he dares, and to the dauntless temper of his mind he hath the wisdom. There is none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked. He chid the sisters when they first put the name of king upon me, then bade them to speak, then prophet-like held them father to a line of kings.
Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my gripe. Thence to be wrenched with the unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding if be it so. For Banquo's issue I have fouled my mind, for them the gracious Duncan I have murdered, to make them kings, the seed of Banquo kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list, and champion me to utterance. Who's there? Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
Well then, this now I made good to you. In our last conference, passed a probation with you.
how your born in hand have crossed the instruments.
You've made it known to us. We are men, my liege.
Now, if you have a station in the file whose execution takes your enemy off, grapples you the heart and love of us, who wear our health but sickly in his life, which in his death were perfect.
I am one, my liege, I do despite the world.
All of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine. With barefaced power sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it. Yet I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, that I myself struck down, and thence it is, that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Upon this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves. Acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time, the moment on't, for it must be done tonight. Fleance, his son, who keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
I'll call upon you straight, abide within. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight. A divine hand must fight it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Oh, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I will attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which indeed have died. With them they think on, things without all remedy should be without regard. What's then is then.
We've scotched the snake, not killed it. But let the frame of things disjoint. Both the worlds suffer. Better be with the dead, whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than on the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. Treason has done his worst.
Gentle, my lord, sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo, unsafe the while disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Thou knowest that Banquo and his Fleance live. They are assailable. His cloistered fly heir to blacks Hecate's summons. There shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed come sealing night. Cancel and tear to pieces that grateful bond which keeps me pale. So pretty, go with me.
Who did bid thee join with us?
MacBeth. He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do.
Then stand with us, the subject of our watch.
Hark! I hear horses.
Give us light there.
Then to see, the rest are within no expectation, already are in the court.
His horses go about.
Almost a mile. A light! A light!
'Tis he. Stand to it.
It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down!
But who did strike out the light?
Was not the way?
There's but one down. The sun is fled.
We have lost best half of our fare.
Well, let's away and say how much is done.
Your degrees. Sit down, and first and last, a hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time, we will acquire her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends, for my heart speaks they are welcome.
They speak with their heart, thanks. There's blood on that face. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat I cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good, that did the life of Fleance.
Most royal, sir. Fleance escaped.
And comes my fate again, and else been perfect. But Banquo, he's safe.
Aye, my good lord. Safe in a bit, stitch you bites. 20 gashes on his head.
Thanks for that. Get the gun.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Good digestion, weight on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness, sit.
Here have we now our countries on a roof, where the graced person of our Banquo is present.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Now, your highness, will you grace us with your royal presence?
The table is full.
Here is the place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. Your highness!
Who can you tell me? You never take that going on to me! Now this not say I did!
Gentlemen, rise. Not well. Sit, worthy friends. My lord is on his side, captain from his youth. Pray you keep seat. Are you a man?
I'm a bold. Rather come now in spite of the devil.
Oh, Robert Shock, this is the very painting of the fear. This is the air on deck over which you said that you jumped in. Shame itself! Why do you make such faces? When all is done, you must put on a stool.
Phoebe! There! Look! Lo and behold! How dare you! What a care! Thou dost not speak to!
What? Quite unmanned in folly?
And if I stand here, I saw him.
Fie for shame!
The blood has been shed on now. The times have been that when the man's brains were out, the man would die. And there it ends. But now they return with 20 mortal murderers on their crowns, and to push us from our stools.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. And give me some wine. And fill full! I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our different Banquo whom we all miss. Glad. Come on! Ain't quick my sight! Left ear crazy! And that goes around and says what is wrong!
Because it was here, doesn't mean a custom did no other. Only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
Boy, get out there! Take over, get out, everybody, hands! Warsio being gone, I am Manigan. Pray you, sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
Can such things be? When now I think you can behold such sights?
What sights, my lord? I pray you speak not, it grows worse and worse. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night, and better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood. They say blood will have blood. What is the matter?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which?
How stayest thou? That Macduff has his presence at our great bidding.
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way, and I will tomorrow. It be time to the word, sisters. More shall they speak, that I am stepped in blood so far that I shall wait no more. Turning as tedious as go over.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, we are to sleep. We are to get young indeed.
Things have been strange and torn. The gracious Duncan was pitied at Macbeth. Married, he was dead, and the right violent Banquo walked too late. For whom you may say, if it pleased you, Fleance killed, for Fleance fled. Men must not walk too late. Who can know what the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donald Bain to kill their gracious mother? Damned it fat, but peace from Broadword. Because he failed his presence at the parents' feast, I think Macduff was in distress. Sir, in October he bestows himself.
The son of Duncan lives in the English court. Thither Macduff is gone to pray the Holy King, upon his aid to wake Northumberland and warlike Seward.
Sent me to Macduff?
He did, and with an absolute stern eye, the cloudy messenger turns me his back.
Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold this message. Ere he come, that his swift blessing may soon return to this our suffering country. Under a hand of prayers.
I'll send my prayers with him.
thrice the branded calf have mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Harp your cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails flow, sweltered venom, sleeping got, spoiled out our first time pot.
Double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a finny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of Newton, toe of frog, wall of bat, and ton of dog. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth, boil and bubble.
Double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf. Of the raven, salty shock, roots of hemlock digged in the dark. Ditch delivered by a drab, make the gruel thick and slab. Added to a tiger's children for the ingredients of a cauldron.
Double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble.
Cool it with the baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good.
Oh, well done. I commend your pain that everyone shall share in the game. Round about the cauldron sing live elves and fairies in a ring, enchanting all that you put in.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever
How
knocks.
now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is it you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess. Howe'er you come to know it, answer me. Answer me to which I ask you.
Speak.
Demand.
We'll answer.
Say if thou'st rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call them. Let me see them.
Pour in South's blood that hath eaten her nine pharaoh, grease that sweetened from the murder's gibbet, throw into the flame.
Come higher, low, thyself in office deftly show.
Thou hast walked. No. Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thee thought, hear his speech, but say thou not.
MacBeth, MacBeth, MacBeth. Beware Macduff. Beware the thane of fight. Dismiss me. Enough.
Whatever thou art, thanks for thy good caution. Thou hast walked my fear aright. But one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth.
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear you.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the rounded top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Ye lion-mettled, proud. And take no care who shapes, or frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquish until great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest, bid the tree, unfix his earthbound root? Yet my heart yearns to know one thing. Shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall upon you. Let me know, why sinks that cauldron, and what noise is this?
Show.
Show his eyes and grieves his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou too art like the spirit of Banquo. Down, thy other golden bound brow is like the first. Thou crown sears my eyeballs and thy hair. Why do you show me this? Filthy hags, what, will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Is this so?
Aye, sir, all this is so, but why stands Macbeth thus so amazingly? Come, sisters, cheer up we his sprite, so that this great king... Well, I turn the air, and you perform your antic round, and this great king may kindly say that our duties did his welcome pay.
What? Where are they? Gone? At this pernicious hour? Come in without leave.
What is your grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I thought I heard a galloping of horse. What's come by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, to tell you that Macduff has fled to England.
Macduff's castle I will surprise. must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom? To leave his wife? To leave his babes? He loves us not.
My dearest coz, I pray you, school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further. I take my leave of you, my pretty cousins. Blessings upon you.
Syra, your father is dead. What will you do now? And how will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What, with worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean, and so do they. My father is not dead, for all you're saying.
He is dead. And what wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell again.
Thou speakest with all thy wit, and yet in faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
And what is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And the all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers enow to beat the honest men and hang up them.
Oh, God, help thee, poor monkey. How wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'll be weeping. If he would not, then it would be a sure sign we would have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Bless you, fair dame.
If you would take a homely man's advice, be not found here, hence with your little ones.
Heaven preserve you.
We dare abide no longer.
Whither I should fly the land? I have done no harm. But I remember now, I'm a part of this earthly world where to do harm is often laudable. To do good sometime accounted dangerous folly. What are these spaces?
Where is your husband?
In no place so unsanctified where thou mayest find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest, thou shag-haired villain.
What you aid, young fry of treachery?
Yes, kill him, Mother. Get away, afraid.
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword. For each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, and new sorrows strike heaven on the face.
What I believe, I'll wail. What no believe. What you have spoke, it may be so perchance. This tyrant was once so honest, you have loved him well.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul would wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so.
I have lost my hopes.
Why in that rawness left you wife and child? Without leave taking, I pray you. Let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed, bleed, poor country. Fare thee well, Lord. I will not be the villain that thou thinkst. For all the space that's in the tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to our wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before. By him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice, so grafted that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem pure as snow.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
I grant him bloody smacking of every sin that has a name. But your wives, your daughters, your matrons and your maids cannot fill up the cistern of my lust. Better Macbeth than such a one to reign.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny that hath been the untimely emptying of the happy throne and fall of many kings. But fear not yet to take upon what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty.
But with this there grows such a stanchless avarice that if I were king, I should cut the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels and this other's house.
This avarice sticks deeper, and it hath been the sword of our slain kings. Yet do not fear, Scotland hath poisons to fill up your will.
But I have none of the king becoming graces. I have no relish of them. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of Concord into hell, up for the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland!
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I've spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeat upon thyself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion hath reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth by many of these trains has sought me to win into his power. I put myself to thy direction and speak mine own detraction. My first false speaking was this upon myself. What I am truly is thine and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed before thy here approach old Seward with 10,000 warlike men already to point was setting forth. Now we'll together in the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. 'Tis hard to reconcile. See, who comes here?
My countryman, but yet I know him not.
My ever-gentle cousin. Welcome hither.
I know him now. Good God, be times remove the means that makes us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stand Scotland where it did?
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. Cannot be called our mother, but our grave.
Oh, relation, too nice and yet too true. How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace?
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort we are coming thither. Gracious England has lent us good Seward and 10,000 men, an older and better soldier in none than Christendom Gazette.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like, but I have words that should be howled to the desert air where hearing should not match them.
What concern they? The general cause, or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard. Your castle is surprised, your wife and babes savagely slaughtered.
Merciful heaven.
My children too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed too?
I have said.
Be comforted. Let us make medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones? Did you say all? Oh, Hellkite, all?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so, but first I must feel it as a man. Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for thee. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes and brag it with my tongue. Bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go eat to the king. Our power is ready.
Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and then return to bed. All this while in a most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature, to receive at once the benefit of sleep, and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, What at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes. This be her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her. Stand close.
How came she by that light?
It stood by her continually. 'Tis her command.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their scent is shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her, to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her to continue in this a quarter of an hour. Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks. I will set forth what comes from her, to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damn spot! Out, I say! 1, 2, why then, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie! A soldier and a feared. What need we fear who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
If they if I've had a way. But where is she now? Warble these hands now, may I queen! Come now! Come on, my lord! You are all with the starting.
Go to. You have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known. Oh, but here's the smell of the blood still. Oh, the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Oh.
What a size there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep and have died hollowly in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown and look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on his grave.
Even so?
To bed! There's a knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed.
Will she go not to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their death pillows will discharge their secrets.
Good night, good doctor.
And the good MacBeth.
Revenge is burning them for
For
their
dear causes, which to the bleeding and the grim alarm excite the mortified man. Near Burnham Wood shall we well meet them. That way are they coming. Who knows if Donald Lane be with his brother? For certain, sir, he is not. I have file of all the gentry. There is Seward's son, and many unrough youths that even now protest their first of manhood. What does the tyrant? Great Dunn's the name he strongly fortifies.
Some say he's mad. Others that lesser hate him do call it valiant fury.
But for certain, he cannot buckle his distempered cause within the belt of rule. Well, march we on! To give him obedience where 'tis truly owed.
Make we our march towards Burnham! Bring me no more reports, let them fly all. Till Burnham Wood remove to Dunstan I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. We'll fly false sayings and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never sag with grief nor shake with fear. The devil damn thee black, thou cream-faced loon. Where goest thou, that goose look?
There's 10,000
Peace, villain!
soldiers, sir.
Go over, prick thy face, and read thy fear. Thou lily-livered coward, what soldiers, wayface?
The English power, so please you.
Take thy face hence. Satan! Satan, I say! This push shall either cheer me or deceit me now. Satan!
What is your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All's confirmed, my lord, that which was reported.
I'll fight till my bones, my flesh be hacked. Bring me my armor.
'Tis not needed yet.
I'll put it on, set more horses out, and skirt the country round until... And no... I'll set out the horses, skirt the country round, and hang those who talk of fear.
Oh, doctor, how does your patient?
She's not so sick, my lord. Merely she's troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Canst thou cure us of that?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physics to the dogs, I'll have none of it.
Ah, my good lord, your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Come, bring me my armor.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
Cousins, I hope the day is near at hand that chambers will be safe.
We doubt it nothing. What wood is this before us? The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our hosts and make discovery, Aaron report of us.
It shall be done.
What is that noise?
It is the cry of woman, my good lord.
Wherefore was this cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
Since the last syllable of recorded history, all yesterdays gave light to fools on the dusty way of death. Life is a walking shadow, a poor player that merely struts and frets his hour upon the stage and no more. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked towards Burnham, and anon, methought, the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath, if it be not so. Within this 3 mile, you may see it coming. I say, a moving grove.
If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine cleave thee, if thy speech be soothed. I care not if thou dost for me as much. Ring the alarm bell, blow wind, come rack. At least we'll die with our harnesses on our back.
Now near enough. Your leafy screens throw down, and show like those you are. You, worthy uncle, shall with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Worthy Macbeth, Macduff, and we shall take upon what else needs doing, according to our order.
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight? Let's be beaten if we cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath. Those come as harbingers of blood and death.
I must fight the course. With he that was not born a woman, such a one, am I to fear or none?
What is thy name?
Thou be afraid to hear it?
No, though thou callest a hotter name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No,
nor more fearful. Thou liest, abhor it, tyrant. With my sword, I prove the liest, thou speakest. That's of woman born. But swords I smile at, weapons I laugh to scorn, brandished by man of woman born.
Tyrant, show thy face! If thou beest slain, and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. Either thou, MacBeth, or else my sword, with an unbattered edge, I sheathe again undeeded. For, by this great clatter, one of greatest notes seems brooded. Let me find her fortune, and more, I beg not.
This way, my lord. The castle is gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely at the war. The day almost itself professes yours, and little is to do.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die upon my own sword? Whilst I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound, turn.
Of all men else I have avoided thee. But get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood and thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword.
I bear charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Despair thy charm, and tell thee, MacDuff was from his mother's womb, untimely ripped.
Accursed be the tongue that tells me so, that keeps the word of promise to our ear, and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee.
We'll have thee then, as our rare monsters are, painted on a pole, and underwrit, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, though Burnham will come to dence a name. Before my body, I throw my warlike shield, lay on MacDeth, and damn be him that first cries, hold, enough.
I would the friends we miss were safe arrived.
Some must go off, and yet, by these I see, so great a day as this is cheaply bought.
Worthy MacDuff is missing, and your noble son.
Your son, my lord, has paid a soldier's debt. He only lived but till he was a man, but like a man, he died.
Then, he is dead?
Aye, and brought off the field. Your cause of sorrow must not be measured by his worth, for that it hath no end.
Had he his hurts before?
Aye, on the front.
Why then, God's soldier be he. Had I as many sons as I have hairs, I would not wish them to a fairer death. And so, his knell is knolled.
He's worth more sorrow, and that I'll spend for him.
He's worth no more. They say he parted well and paid his score. And so, God be with him. Wait, here comes newer comfort.
Hail, King! For so thou art, behold, where stands a usurper's cursed head. Our time is free. I see thee compassed in thy kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire loud of mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your subtle loves and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first ever Scotland such an honor named. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, who fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hands took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace we will perform in measure, time and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.
Wow. I've got the great privilege of representing Shakespeare's Globe today, and I've got to say you guys rock. Can we give them all one more round of applause? What an absolutely stunning afternoon. I really hope all 167 of you are very, very proud of what you've done today, because you should be. I'm doing Macbeth next year at the Globe. I'm not in it, I'm producing it. What I would say is I hope I can bottle just a bit of that, because if our company can be half as good as that, I will be delighted. What I'd like you all to do is, very traditionally, in most plays, as you know, but at the Globe we always tend to do a jig. I'm not going to ask you to jig, but after the jig we always ask the company to take a bow. I can't invite all 167 of you here, but could I ask you all to please stand up and take your bow? Quite possibly the largest Macbeth company I definitely have ever seen, and I would say it's the best. I would like to say a few thank yous on behalf of the Globe, so please get your hands ready for plenty of clapping. But I really would like to, first of all, thank all the people really that have made today possible, all the people that have been working backstage, the friends of Mondavi who very generously given their time, not only today but actually over the course of the last year, and have been taking myself and my colleagues all over California to visit your schools, and Bill, my colleague, who works with many of you, and all of you in fact. And so I'd like to have a huge thank you to the Friends of Mondavi Center, please. Of the Globe Education Academy, and yesterday we started our 5th year, and there are two colleagues from the very first year. Jim Pritchard, where's Jim? Jim Pritchard. Really have just worked tirelessly, and I've got to say, they are amazing stage managers. Also, I'd like to thank our partners who really have made today possible. There's a lot of work goes into making this academy happen. And today, for most of us, it's almost the start. And I hope for all of you guys there, you might want to take to the stage again, because I know that you all should do. I'd like to thank our colleagues at Los Rios Community College District, in particular Bryce Harris and Thelma Scott Silman. So can we give them a round of applause? I'd also like to thank the School of Education at UC Davis, who have joined us this year and to take us into the future, in particular Harold Levine and Christine Monroe. I will be quick, I promise. And please, you can rest your hands for a couple of seconds. I'd also like to thank Jennifer Mass from the Mondavi Center, who's really been working behind the scenes to make today happen. So, a round of applause for Jennifer, please. And I'd also like to echo the thanks from Joyce before, and that's to Rosalie van der Hoff, who really has championed this academy and came to London. I think it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, over 5 years ago, and we started talking about a Globe Education Academy and what that might be. And it's Rosalie's tenacity that has really brought us here today. So can we thank Rosalie? Only 2 more thank yous left. And I would like to do a huge, huge thank you to the woman who really makes this happen, and that's Joyce Donaldson from the Mondavi Center. It's Joyce who has got us here today, and it's Joyce's vision, really, which has enabled us to really develop what I believe is one of Shakespeare's Globe's most exceptional collaborations here with the Mondavi Center. There are 12 inspirational people that we do need to thank, and they're the people who really, really care for you guys and all of your colleagues back at school. The people who gave up 2 weeks in the summer to come and do work at the Globe, who've given a copious number of days, hours and preparation to get us to where we've been today. Rather than just clap them, I'd like to invite them onto the stage to take a bow, and that's the teachers of the Globe Education. What I will say is that I had the great privilege of spending 2 weeks with you guys. Quite a lot of hours we've worked together. And what I would say is that they are 12 exceptional individuals, and it was our privilege to come and play with us at the Globe. There is one thing that some of you may have heard a whisper about, but they did come and play at the Globe, and they played on Shakespeare's Globe stage. Over 4 months ago, they went through the same process as you guys, but they did it in 2 weeks. In fact, they didn't even do it in 2 weeks. I laughed. They did it in 10 days. And so we kind of thought, rather than just applaud them, we should see what they did at Shakespeare's Globe. Rehearsals since, and that was 4 months ago. But they very, very generously. So I would like to present as our jig, and a jig in Shakespeare's Globe is a way to leave the audience really, really happy. And I think we're already there, but this is the icing on the cake. The Globe Education Academy Teachers 2010.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge.
When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished.
Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Hador, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me and referred me to the coming on of time with, Hail, King that shall be.
This I have thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness, thou must not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised to thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Calm thou art, and Cador, and what shalt be, what thou art promised. Richard, you are so early.
I'm a messenger. I'm not Richard, I'm a messenger.
Glams thou art, and Cador, and what shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou would be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. Hie thee hither, that I may pour with thy spirits into thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round. What is your attendance?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it.
So help me, it's true. Our fame is coming.
The raven is horse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements.
Come, these spirits that tend on mortals' thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the toe, chock full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor make peace between the action or it. Come, thick night, pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that thy keen knife not see the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the dark and cry, Hold! Hold! Great Glams, worthy Cotter, greater than both to the all-hail thereafter. Thy letter has transported me beyond this worthless moment, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
Oh, never shall sun... Oh, and when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To look like the time, beguile the time. Bear welcome in thy hand, thy eye, thy tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent that lies underneath it. He that comes here tonight must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which for all our nights to come gives solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
If it were done when 'twere done, then 'twould well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence, and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here, but here upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. cases, we still have judgment here. That we but teach bloody instructions, which being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. And then as his host, who should against the murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan
hath borne his faculties so clear, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, only vaulting ambition, which all leaps itself and falls on the other. How now? What news?
He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you know he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk where you dress yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou feared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire?
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares those more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. Nor time,
nor place did that adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail.
We fail! But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, where to the rather shall his days' hard journey soundly invite him? His two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. Would in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie, as in a death? What cannot you and I perform against the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon their officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men, children only. For thy undaunted mettle should bring forth men.
As we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death.
I am settled. And bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Come, away! And mark the time with fairest show. The false face doth hide what the false heart doth know.
There's knocking indeed. The man will corner of Hellgate, he'd have old turning the key.
Knock, knock, knock. Who's there?
In the name of B.A.'s old bub?
Look, here's a farmer who hanged himself in the expectation of plenty.
Come in, farmer. Have napkins enough about you. Here you'll sweat for it.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
In the other
devil's name?
Faith, here's an equivocator who could swear in both scales against either scale, who committed enough to heaven. Treason enough to heaven, yet could not equivocate for his own sake. Oh, come in, equivocator.
Knock, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Faith, here's an English tailor. Come in, tailor, for stealing out of a French hose. Here you may roast your goose.
Knock, knock.
Yeah. Who is it?
But this place is too cold for hell. I'll devil porter it no further. I had thought to let in some of all professions to the everlasting, that walk the primrose path to the everlasting bonfire. Oh, come in.
And on and on. Oh, remember the porter.
Prithee, sir, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing till the second cock. And drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine.
Lechery, sir. Lechery, sir, provokes and it unprovokes. It makes him and it mars him. It sets him on and it takes him off. It persuades him and disheartens him, sets him on, makes him stand too, and not stand too. And equivocates him to a sleep. I lost it all. Giving him the lie leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir, in the very throat of me. But I requited him for his lie, and shook him off.
Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awakened him. Here he comes. Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane? He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
Not yet.
Ah. Great. I know this is a joyful trouble to you, yet 'tis one.
Come, I'll show you the door.
I'll make so bold to call it is mine. Noble service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night was unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, lamentings heard in the air. Strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events new hatched to the woeful tide. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel the fellow to it.
Tongue my heart cannot conceive, nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Confusion hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder has broke up the Lord's anointed temple and stole hence the life of the building.
What is it you say? The light?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new Gorgon. Do not bid me speak. Seek and speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Banquo! Malcolm! Joddleby! Arise! Arise! Awake! Shake off this downy sleep and look on death itself! Up! Up! And see the great doom's image, Malcolm Banquo, as from your graves! Rise up! Ring the bell!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of this house? Speak! Speak!
Gentle lady, 'tis not for me, for you to hear what I can speak. Such news would murder as it fell. Banquo? Oh, Banquo. Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
Whoa, alas! What, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Prithee, Banquo, say it's not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this instant there is nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees is left in the vault to brag of.
What's amiss?
You are and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father was murdered.
Those of his chamber, as it seems, has done it. Their hands and faces were embadged with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life should have been trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I'd have killed them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate, and furious, and loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outran the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. Here the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart the courage to make that love known?
Help me hence! Oh! Look to me!
Why do I hold my tongue, that most may claim this argument will mine? Yet what should be spoken here in this place, where fate, hid in an auger hole, may rush and seize us? I'll away. My tears are not yet brewed.
Look to the lady, and when we have our naked frailties hid that do suffer an exposure, let us meet, and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fear and scruple shake us. It is in the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
And so all.
Well contended.
Let us put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Well
contented.
It's hard to talk that in, right?
Where's the rest of it?
This brings us to the apple. Wait.
Oh, bro.
Excuse us. Sorry, I would never interrupt this lady, but we have something we would like to say.
That's a great hand, but if you knew all the work she did, you would know she deserves a standing ovation.
You're the reward. Smiles on your faces today, and we're
for everybody. I'll be sure that your teachers have enough so that you've got enough to share with your folks and your school. There's pizza in the lobby.